Hello, good evening. It is Sunday, June 22nd, and I am here with you tonight because I missed you on Friday morning for Coffee and a Card. So that's why we have Coffee and a Card rescheduled. I'm glad I'm able to be with you for some point today, for this weekend, rather. And I am going to be sharing with you the June 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, it came to me just a few days ago, and I have not had a chance to open it. So I'd like to share that experience with you. Let's explore it together. So instead of a card, we are going to be looking at three different designs that come in the Paper Pumpkin Kit. So we'll wait for a couple people to come on first, and it might be kind of nice to have a different audience. Some people can't join me at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday Eastern time. So maybe some people who don't get to watch live will get that opportunity today. So I thank you. If you are signing on, say a little hello so we can see where you're from. If you'd like to share that, that would be fabulous. And we'll get some crafting going here. Let me know if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. And have you gotten your June kit yet? Have you done it yet? What I usually like to do is do the one set, let's say, of the products, the projects that they show. And then I like to take the rest of the materials and do the alternate projects. So I kind of make them up as I go along. And to tell you the truth, I don't always get to them because I don't know, I just have a lot of things going on. I just don't always get back to paper pumpkins, but at some point I do. And it's just nice to have those pieces all ready to go. I don't have to think about, okay, what's going to coordinate with this or that, or what ink should I use, or what background should I use, or stamps. It's all in this kit. It is an all-inclusive kit. And what's nice is if you like kind of surprises, this you can sign up as a subscriber and get this kit once a month delivered right to your door. And you will just be billed automatically. You can stop anytime. You can even put it on hold if you want. Let's say 1 month you're not going to have time for it, or maybe you saw a little preview and it's not quite your thing, your style, you want to skip that month, you can do that. So a lot of options with the paper pumpkin. It's been around a long time, and I have to say every month I think it gets better. They are just doing a great job. So hello, friends, Colette and Debbie, some of my regular people who watch me. Thank you so much for joining on. Okay, yeah, it is Coffee and a Card. I don't have a hot coffee. I have an iced coffee today. It's been hot. I know a lot of the eastern coast is getting, a lot of hot weather coming. It was in the 90s today. It's going to be close to 100 next couple of days. And so I'm hoping wherever you are, you're staying cool and just take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water, not necessarily coffee. That's dehydrating. But for every cup of coffee I drink a cup of water. But not that I drink tons of coffee. I drink more water than the coffee. But anyway, enough of that. Let me take a sip. And we're going to get started. I'm going to show you from start, right from the start, what it's like to have your paper pumpkin kit in front of you. Nice to see you this evening, Karen. Also, you received as a gift. That's a great idea. Yes, it's Karen, I was going to say that it's a great thing to take on a vacation because everything's in the box. Everything. The only thing that you might not have in your subsequent orders is your lucite block. In your very first paper pumpkin, you do get a free block. All the ones after that, you don't, because you don't need a block every month. You don't need to end up with 12 of these or 24 or however long you do your paper pumpkin. So you get one in your first box. So then when you go on your trips, bring the box. Look how small it is. Takes up very little room. The only thing you might need to add is scissors. don't forget to bring your block. I'm going to flip the camera around, and then we're going to open it right from scratch. I still have the cellophane on it even. So let's take a look. Here we go. So this is how it comes right to your door. You're going to have your mailing label on here. I took mine off because you don't need this either. So here you take your shrink wrap off. And what's nice is you feel real special when you open up this box because it is so nicely wrapped. Tissue paper, ladies. Oh, how elegant is that? Beautifully wrapped. You have your stamp set right here like this. Let's celebrate you. Happy birthday to a wonderful friend. Miss you and thank you. Those are like the main sentiments that I need all the time. That will cover just about anything, right? Except maybe a sympathy card. So, and then you have some little florals. You have a leaf, and you have a twig there, a little spray of some leaves there. All right. So, no, you don't get a plastic case for these, but you can buy plastic cases. The regular boxes that our stamp sets come in, you can get those from the website, and you will be able to put your paper pumpkin pieces in there if you like. You can put several of them, in fact, because this takes up very little room. You can put your directions in there. You can put your leftover products, whatever you have there. So that's all good. I'm going to remove this banner so you can see a little bit better. All right. You also get a little ink spot. So what's nice about this is every month is going to be a different color. So you're not going to end up with 6 pretty peacocks in a year. But that's what's in this box, pretty peacock. I save these for maybe when I am traveling or to give away as some freebies in a little kit. So for tonight, I'm going to use my full-size pad. All right, so let's open it up. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is a special gift. Open it up. And of course, save the tissue paper. You're always needing to wrap up something pretty for a friend. Or when you're done with your cards, wrap your cards in here, tie it up with a bow, and give them as a gift if you're not going to send them yourself. Okay, the boxes are great for storage as well. You can always take some designer paper and cover that if you like. Put some strips around the side. Use them for storing some of your favorite accessories. Okay, so now this is all shrink wrap. So again, if you're traveling, it's not going to go flying all around. You have pictures of what the products are here. This June 2025 kit is called Full of Charm. And you have 3 designs, and you have 3 of each design to make it off. Also comes with coordinating envelopes, which is really nice as well. So if you are on vacation and you need to send a card, then you have your envelope ready to go. Okay, let's see who else is on. Okay, I did come with a block. I was so new this. Okay. Oh, good. All right, so let's cut it open. Be careful you don't cut the products. Comes with your embellishments. It comes with adhesives, not liquid glue. So you might see me switching to my liquid glue, but you do get glue dots in there. And again, if I have my liquid glue handy here at home, that's what I prefer to use, but you can use whatever you like. Now, I do know somebody that loves these dots. My father's significant other friend, so I save them for her. I save those for Carol, and if you end up having a bunch of them that you don't want, send them off to me. We'll save a whole bag of them, and I'll pass them on to Carol. So she and I would both appreciate that. So in this little Ziploc bag, we have our embellishments, and we also have some mini dimensionals. Well, no, they're not mini, they're regular size dimensionals. Okay, so again, all the things that you need. Over here, I see some tear and tape. Here are those decorated envelopes. with this little crisscross pattern that's going to coordinate with the cards. And you have 9 altogether, 3 of each of 3 designs. Now look at these nice little foil gold speckles on there, some little bits of bling. So these are your card bases. Again, like I said, you have 3. I'm going to keep out 1 of each. I like to sort them and then sort the pieces to go with each card. So we'll look at the instructions in a minute. See, this has that crisscross pattern again, but it's in the gold foil. That's nice. Now here's a sheet of some labels that we can punch out. And then here's another card base that has some gold bling on it as well. Okay, kind of a time-worn look to that. Okay, let's get our stuff all in order here. Like I said, I like to sort out what's going to go with each one of these. All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, these are all die cuts that get punched out. And, these are very, very delicate and kind of a brown and kind of looks like a faded spongy look to it. And these are some sprays here. So let's just look and see what we've got. Okay, 3 sheets of those. 1 big spray, the delicate flowers, and a small flower. And then here are 3 of these patterns here. Some leaf sprigs and those beautiful pink flowers over there. Cardboard holds it nice and stiff. And then you also have this little insert, I guess you can say, that shows you what the stamps are. So when you're storing them, just like in your stamp cases, you can see what's there and make sure you're not missing anything when you go to put it away. I love this little stippled look that you see in there. So gives it a nice soft look and some shading elements in there as well. Okay, so we've got that. And then here is our instructions. And this is good for any language. It's mostly pictorial. And it's all pictorial except when they show you the sentiments, actually. So there's project number 1, project number 2, and project number 3 over here. Over here, it shows you what you need for each project. So for this particular card, it shows me how many, those little gray dots that are on there are your blue dots. Shows you the dimensionals. Those are the hexagon shape. I'm not sure if you can see that there. And your embellishments. You need the leaf stamp and you need this label. So I'm going to use that to sort out the products I need for here. So I'm going to punch that out. Very delicate here. One thing that's really nice also is it's not attached in too many places, if you know what I mean. So you're not going to end up with a lot of little nubby things all around. It's very minimally attached. So that makes it easy to pull off, but also looks a lot neater when you're using it on your card. Wow, look at that. I'm going to put it on plain paper so you see what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Browns and bluish greens all in there. I like it even just against the white. That looks really pretty. So I think the idea is going to be that we can put it over this and those colors are going to show through. Okay, so this is going to just be the outlining of those flowers there. Okay, so that's that. And then we are going to need the leaf. So I'll get that out. The block that you get with a paper pumpkin is about this size, but just for my convenience, I'm going to use some of the blocks I have over here because I might end up using multiple blocks, so I don't have to change them out right now. Okay, and I'll need the ink, and we need that little label, which is over here. And many times they'll give you an extra one or two of those labels because we know what happens sometimes. You make a mistake and then you have to improvise from there. Okay, so I'll put these aside for now. Don't need those until later. Okay, then for number 2, that's the one with this little worn look here. I will need the pink flowers. And this has some nice straight edges, so it looks like it's going to go right against the fold of the card. And then we'll decorate it from there. Okay. And then it says I need this green part here. Is anybody else experiencing all the warm weather? It's my stamping room is on my upper level, so it gets a little warm up here. I only have one thermostat, so if I turn it up too high, then it's too cold downstairs. That's why I have my hair up. I've got my cold drink with me. I've got the overhead fan going, so if you see some movement on my table, that's the fan and the light together. Okay, then I need, well, I have my embellishments handy. I'm not going to pull those off right now. And we need the other stamp. I'm going to pull that off, just get that ready on my block. I will be ready to go and zip these cards out in no time. So that's going there, and that's going there. Now the one with the, oh, I need to miss you for that as well. Here we go, miss you. I definitely have some friends I can send that to. Don't get to see a lot of people that I would like to all the time. All right, so miss you is going with that. And then the one with the diagonal lines, we need one of these diamond shapes. And oh, on this one, we need one of the circles. Oh, see, I'm missing, not looking very closely here. There we go, we need the circle. All right, so I think I've got everything there. Okay, it shows tape. I'll get that. That's not a problem. All right, so we're good there. Now for the diagonal one, we need this other die cut here in the pretty peacock color. I'm using a lot of pretty peacock lately. It's just so pretty. All right, so now I'm done with this, and I can throw that away. And then I need that other flower and the other spray from that where I got this piece from. Line those all up. Now, if you're doing all 9, sort them all out at one time. It'll be a lot easier. Okay, and then we will need the Let's Celebrate You. Of course, you can put whatever sentiment you want as long as it fits on your label. Okay, but I like to do them just as they instruct for my first set of 3, and then from there I will improvise and mix and match or add a couple other of my other products. Sometimes it's a lot of fun to cut the card bases in half and cut them down to be a layer, mount them on cardstock that you already have, and then you get kind of 2 cards out of the one card base. So that's a fun thing to do. All right, so that's the Let's Celebrate, and I will need the other leaf spray for this one. So, they show you lots of options using all the products that you have here. Okay, all set to go. Let's start with project number 1. I'm going to put this aside. And I'll put this one aside, and let's see how quickly these all go together. Nice and fun. Okay. So first of all, you want to fold your card on the score line. Burnish it with your bone folder. I often like to do it on the back, especially if there's already something on here. I don't want to leave a mark, or sometimes it gets a little shiny, so you can do it on the back, or you can put a piece of paper down, something thin, just like a piece of grid paper or computer paper, and rub over that, and if you're worried. I haven't had much of a problem. Okay, so we look at our instructions, and it tells you step by step exactly what to do. So we are going to add leaves onto the card. See, this doesn't have any peacock leaves. We're supposed to stamp 2 up there and 1 down there. So that's what I'm going to do. And my ink pad got a little messed up from something. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to add a leaf down here. And we'll add another leaf on here. Another one over here. Ta-da. Clean that off. I want to close this up because there is a lot of, it's warm, there's a lot of breeze going on here. Okay, now this is where it says to put a lot of those little gray dots represent those glue dots that you have. And they're saying to put them behind this delicate die cut here and then attach it to your card. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to use my liquid glue instead. And I understand the reason for the glue dots, because they can send them in the box very easily without having liquid going in there, right? But since I have this, I like using my silicone mat, and I will put little dabs of glue on the more solid pieces of this. Come on. I know there's glue in there. It's just needs a little coaxing to come out. Okay, so I leave a little pin here to, just got a little dry, I think. There we go. Kind of seals itself up there, right? Just little dots, little dabs. You don't want it to seep out and get the front of your card sticky. Another trick that you've seen me do, most likely, or other people, is to use a sponge. Dab the sponge in glue, and then you could dab it over your more delicate pieces. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'll just put a little pool of glue there. I keep a sponge in this little container with a binder clip, and then I can dab my glue onto that, and I could just dab it on here. Now you want to make sure you don't move this, because glue is now in the spaces, and if you move your die cut, you will get glue on the front of it, and you do not want that, trust me. All right, so now we're going to put that on our card so it covers the flowers and they show through. Just lining them up. Look how pretty. Woo, looks like you fussed for a long time, right? But you didn't. Now we're going to stamp our sentiments. We need To a Wonderful Friend, which I didn't pull off before, but that's okay. Here, and I do have many wonderful friends. All our friends, they mean so much to me, and they all fill certain places in my heart for various reasons. Some are there every single day. Some are I do a lot of things with regularly. Some I speak to less frequently, but we pick up right where we left off. It's all good. Some are there you can cry with, you can laugh with. Those are the best. support each other, right? That's what friends are for. Okay, I'm going to put those on, then we put the bling, and we're good. All good to go. So if you look here, it shows the label, and it shows 3-dimensional dots. So yeah, I'm going to save mine from in here because that's a nice one to keep if I'm traveling. So I'm just going to use my big pack that I already have open. Okay, 3 on the back of that. It's kind of a excuse me, kind of a tight fit, so I'm making sure I put the flat edge of the dimensional against the flat edge of the little label there. Okay, because I do it exactly like the model says, and then so I can show people what it looks like if you follow the pattern. I can show them what it looks like if you put it on crooked. All right, let's get my pick tool, lift that up a little bit. It's a little tricky because of the delicate piece underneath, but it's okay. Okay, that's better. All right, then a little bling. 3 pieces of these gold sequins. Now it's nice they sequins. Remember when the sequins used to have a hole in the middle and you try to glue them down and the glue would seep through? Hi, Gloria. Nice to see you. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't just buy it. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, however, you can buy replacement kit. So if you run out of the pieces, the die cuts, the accessories, bling and everything, then you can buy those kits there. Now, you know what? To be honest with you, over here, I can't tell where they put those sequins, but does it really matter? No, because wherever you put them will be nice. Okay, so I'm going to use my little pick tool to pick these up. And, oh, my, who knows? Yeah, I'll put one there. And one here. And one there. And that card is done. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 for my sequins. And like I said, that card is done. Put that one aside. Let's go on to card number 2. Okay. Number 2, Miss You card. First it says to stamp Miss You on the circle. And it reminds me of one of the circles from the Spotlight in Nature where you have the stitching around there. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but it has some texture there, which is really nice. One thing about stamping on circles, you don't have to worry about being straight, right? It's a circle. It's all curved. Ta-da. Always breathe a little sigh of relief after you stamp a sentiment, right? Came out good. Okay. Excuse me while I take time to clean off my stamps. That way I know they're good to go for next time. Okay, so we stamped that. We're going to put dimensionals on the back. It says to put 4. You know what? These are big. I'm sure 3 is going to be fine for me. If I use the minis, I might have used 4. Okay, now we need the big flowers here, which look very much like these flowers, very close. But we're going to stamp it in the pretty peacock. And it says we're going to stamp it on the card base itself. I'll put this aside for a moment. Okay, so I'm going to just use this as my guide because we want to stamp so that we can see it in between what we're going to overlay it. Okay. So we want some to come out over here. You know what? I'm going to stamp this just on plain white so that you can see what it looks like. It's supposed to be faded looking, kind of like this, different shades there. I want you to see what that looks like. So sometimes we see a stamp like this and, oh my gosh, it's not working properly. Well, it is. That's what it's supposed to look like. And if you see, it's kind of mimicking what's in the pink on the flowers here. All right. So put that aside. I can use that later. Let's see. This is going to be here. I want that to stick out a little bit up there. Looks pretty, nice in the background. And then the other one can come out over here, kind of like right in the middle. Okay, so when we put it together, we see those in the background. I won't need my ink again till the next card. Turn it off. And now we're going to use tear and tape, they tell us, because this is a big piece. They say to use the tear and tape on the back of this die cut here. This does have a little texture, so maybe they suggest the tear and tape because it holds a little better maybe than glue. But you know what? I'm going to use the glue because glue will hold just as well. And I can save my tear and tape for when I have another project where the glue will not work. Like I said, it is an option for a stronger glue when they don't want to send you the liquid glue in the kit, right? That doesn't make sense to have something messy in there. Okay, so if you prefer glue, that will work just fine. And I like it because once it's down on my card, I can reposition it. You have a little bit of time to get it just right. Okay, and then we have that other sprig that's going to go on with the glue dots. Like I said, when you see those little gray dots there, that's the glue dots. When you see the hexagon shape, it's the dimensionals. All right, then this is going to go right on there. Again, the glue dots might have a tiny bit of height to them, but this is so delicate. I'm going to glue it down. It's your choice what you would like to do. Again, I highly suggest the silicone mat so that if you do get a little glue outside of your piece, it goes on the mat, not on your work paper where it will stay sticky, but will be on the silicone mat, which will just rub off. No glue will stick to that. And notice I placed it down in a spot that I did not have glue before. I had some glue over here from when I used the sponge, remember? All right, so we're going to put this on here, and this one looks more like a mossy meadow color. That's going right over there. And then we're going to put our sentiment on, right like this. And that's going to sort of cover the end of that branch there. So if I were just looking at this, I would not want to see that branch just kind of hanging out in midair like it's floating there. But when it's behind something like this, it looks much nicer. So that's going on there. I love the peacock in that pink. That must be like a strawberry slush or berry burst kind of color, a little of each, maybe some pretty in pink mixed in there. And then we add the bling. 1, 2, 3. Just kind of curious where they put it. Oh, they put one over here, one there. Doesn't really matter, right? Hmm. Oh, another one down here. It's hard to see because it's speckly, right? Right, so one big one and two small. Um, 1, 2, 3. You will have extra of your sequins as well. You're not going to use them all on these projects. You will have a few extra. So isn't that pretty? I wonder which one we're going to like the best. Really nice. Okay, 2 down, 1 more to go. Okay, number 3. We're going to stamp Let's Celebrate You on that diamond shape. So you'll see a lot of these, the formula, let's say, is similar. You're stamping your sentiment on a label that you get. And this one, on a lot of things, you're stamping on the card base and then adding the other die cut pieces on. Okay, I have to be straight myself here to see this. Okay, there you go. That little stitching around there looks like a pretty peacock color as well. Okay, it's flat. It is not embossed or cut into. There aren't real stitching, but just has the pretty peacock lines there to look like stitching. Let's fold our card. We have 3 pieces to attach. Okay, looks like my finger got a little smudge on something there, so we're going to put that on the back. Okay, directions say to take this other leaf and we're going to stamp one going up there and one going down there on the card front. One there and one going down. These stamps are pretty. I will definitely be using these on other projects. So that's the beauty. You have that little mini stamp set to continue working with. All right, again, they say to use the tear and tape on this. I'm using regular glue, and this is going to just go over here, kind of bridge the gap between those 2 stems, just like that. This is a nice big piece, plenty of places for your glue. And this looks like a little orangey, like a peach pie or a little timid tiger, maybe some old olive in there, maybe misty moonlight over here, tying in those colors so nicely. And then we will, again, they want the little glue dots on here. I'm going to bring back my mat. And I'm going to use a spot down here that doesn't have glue on it. I'm going to push some of the other glue away. It just kind of rolls off. You can just brush it off and into the garbage it goes. If you feel you need to do a better job, just rinse it under the water in the sink. Okay, back to my glue. I'm going to save the the dots for Carol. You're welcome, Carol. She said, anyone else wants to donate their dots? She'll take them. She loves them so. Okay. There we go. Teeny tiny speckly dots. I'm going to put this over. Okay. Now this one, there's going to be this flower covering the stem. So I was a little worried that we're going to have a stem hanging in midair, but nope. Nope. We got that. Okay, I'm just trying to position in a way that doesn't cover too much of the other things. There we go there. And we're going to put our sentiment next. And they're not suggesting to glue that down or not. Oh, yes, that's right. Up in the beginning, right after we Okay, sorry, I ran out of power on my laptop.